Well, hello, everyone. Happy Thursday to you all. It is Thursday, isn't it? Yes. Thanks for joining us as we explore real estate markets all over the world. It is always exciting for me to think about the possibilities. And here on Let's Explore, we are committed to educating you on real estate possibilities outside of your own city. Our goal is to take those dreams and make them a reality. And why not? Right? I am very proud to share that we have successfully matched buyers and agents in the nearly 3 years of Let's Explore, and we intend to continue turning those goals into real life with the collaboration of agents from our 850 Keller Williams offices nationally and our now 54 global regions with the recent additions of Saudi Arabia and Guyana and growing. I'm hoping it'll be 55 the next time you see me here on Let's Explore. So listen, according to the NAR, the National Association of Realtors, vacation and second home sales were up 57% year over year. And it's not just uber wealthy people making these purchases. There's something for everyone. A second home can also be a very wise addition to your investment portfolio. And this is the kind of investment that you can actually enjoy, unlike stocks and bonds. So the number of second home purchases has reached over 10 million. That's really remarkable. So if the appeal of a getaway place is on your radar, we can help. Whether it's city life or a relaxing rural retreat, or sunning it up in some beautiful seaside spot. That's what I like. If that stirs your soul, we're here to educate you on the many real estate possibilities. So for today, 1 in 10 Americans can claim ancestry from our feature country. And its influence on Western culture is formidable, from its literature and arts to its vibrant social pub scene. And let's not forget its woodlands and pastures. If it's 5 p.m. where you are, grab a Guinness and let's have a crack as we explore possibilities of the Emerald Island, the Republic of Ireland. So let's welcome Liam Farragher. Did I say it?
Correct. You did well. You did well.
Practiced
Good
and
attempt.
everything, Liam. What's wrong with me? And he is from Galway. No, I got that right. Right? Galway, not Galway. Okay. Welcome all, and welcome Liam to Let's Explore. Thank you for being here. And we want to know just a little bit about you. So tell us briefly about what makes you special.
Yeah, so thanks for having me, first of all. So I've been in property about 10 years at this stage, and been with Keller Williams out my own for about a year, and loving it at the moment. Yeah, really enjoying it. Fathered 3 kids, which is the most important part of it so far, but really enjoying my time.
And from your accent, I would say that you are Irish and not a transplant.
No, I'm born and bred Ireland. Yeah. So I spent 2 years in Canada. I lived in Canada for 2 years, but yeah, I've lived in Galway all my life, the 2 years.
Wonderful. Well, a lot of our audience is Canadian, so you have an affinity there with them. So this is what we're going to do today. Our format is a series of Q&A with our expert, and at the end, we're going to share some properties. And then also, audience, please, at the end, we're going to put the contact information up for Liam. So be prepared to take a screenshot of that, write it down, enter it into your contacts for future business. He is your resource. So let's give it a lash, Liam, shall we? Let's talk a little bit about the expats in Ireland. I know it's an international hub, a great location, a great geographic location, one of the closest European countries to us here in the US and Canada, and it has a lot of historic ties to Europe and the UK. But tell me, what is it about your buyers? What are you seeing mostly? Families, empty nesters? Who do you see coming to make a purchase?
Yeah, so there's a number of different types, but there's 2 main types of foreign buyers that we get at the moment. We get a lot of holiday home people, people that want to live in the wide Atlantic way. So we've got beautiful scenery, lakes, beaches everywhere. And I suppose as well, the benefit of that is we're predominantly English speaking. So, the majority, every person in Ireland would have English. Some of them, there is some Gaeltacht areas. So we find a lot of holiday home buyers, or, people that historically have connections to Ireland and, want a little piece of that. But we also have Ireland in general, but Galway in general has it's very tech oriented. So we've got a lot of companies, the likes of Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, Microsoft, EA, would all have European headquarters here. So we see a lot of foreign buyers, of people getting jobs in them areas and coming over here to buy. So we get a bit of everything here,
Well, when you mentioned Galway, it is by the ocean, and it's smaller than the capital, Dublin. So I think that might be attractive to some people. I think Dublin can be a little bit overwhelming. And I understand that in Cork, I think that's the second largest city, and that's on the southern part of Ireland, right? And there's a lot of global companies there as well. So it sounds like there's some, ability for people to still maintain their job, the stateside job, and maybe go to Ireland and just kind of test out the lifestyle and the culture and have an adventure.
Yeah, we do, and you get a lot, I suppose. The beauty of Ireland is you're never an hour and a half away from anywhere in Ireland. So you're never an hour and a half away from the next city. And you get a lot of people, Galway as well, in particular, it's right on it's the doorstep to Connemara, which is a beautiful, wild area. And you get a lot of people that are looking for city life, but want to have that outdoors life as well. So we get a mixture of everything here.
So these buyers, can you educate the audience a little bit about, restrictions that they might face? Almost every country has a little bit of a process in which to purchase.
Ireland is very straightforward for overseas buyers. The restrictions come in certain types of property on what you can buy. So you can buy any property in Ireland, no matter where you're from. So there's no restrictions on what property you can buy. The only restrictions will come in place if you're looking for planning permission to build in certain areas. So the Irish government, they don't want, although we really want foreign investment and people coming in, certain areas like Connemara, from where which is just out the road from us, they would have restrictions on planning. So you would have to be from the area to build. But you have no problem buying, a holiday home, but you just can't build in that area. And once you have an Irish solicitor, lawyer, as you call them, you have no issues. You can purchase any property. So we are very welcoming. We're well aware that Ireland is a small country and we need investments from everywhere. So, we welcome everyone.
What about financing? Is there the ability for a foreign purchaser to get a loan on an Irish property?
It's a bit trickier. So we get a lot of our foreign buyers will be cash buyers. Financing, it's a bit more restricted. We were hurt really bad in the crash through property sector in Ireland. So there's massive restrictions on residential mortgages, commercial mortgages. If you're an overseas buyer, you would either need to be buying with cash, or you can get an expat mortgage with some of our banks. But you're looking at very high deposits, 30-40% deposit before you can purchase here. As well, if you're looking to relocate to Ireland, you would have to be here minimum 6 months before you can apply for financing to purchase a home. So that's the reason we see a lot of cash buyers.
Sure, that makes sense to me. Well, let's look at some properties. I think let's switch over to properties and see what you've brought to share with us today. I'm excited to see it. Let's see. One second. Little technical difficulty while we're working on that. So you said you've been in real estate for 10 years, but the office
Mhm.
there has been open for how long?
Yeah, so Keller Williams is very new in Ireland, and it only started about 2 years ago, and I've been an agent with them for about a year. So we would have been one of the first agents to start, but it's grown from strength to strength. We're learning a lot and learning a lot from different countries. You know, we get on a lot of calls with US agents and UK agents and learn quite a bit. So although we're new, we're making headway in the industry.
Making a lot of progress. That's good. That's what we're all doing, actually. We're learning every day. So, okay, here we go. Take it away, Liam. Talk to us about what we're looking at.
Perfect. So what we're looking at here is an ideal investment for any overseas buyer. So we have 3 guest houses on the one road in the heart of Galway City. So it's literally 2-minute walk to the city centre. All these guest houses are on the one road. They comprise 47 beds altogether, and they're getting a really strong with 10% yield. And they're on the market at 5 million at the moment.
So, wow, 10, yeah, that's pretty, is that about average for what one would expect if they did an investment property in Galway?
It's a bit above average. It's a bit above average. We normally hit about an 8%, 7 to 8% yield. But this one is it is up on the higher end of return, which is a great return on it. And it's a ready-made business as well. The business is there. You know, these guest houses have a 70 to 80% occupancy rate. So you know it's a great investment for anyone with a bit of extra cash. A lot of extra cash.
Looks nice. Okay, what is next?
So this is a beautiful holiday home in Carrow, County Galway. This property, as you can see, if you see the bottom picture on the right, that is basically your doorstep. You're looking out onto the water. It's in a beautiful location, just 15 minutes from Galway City. It's in Carrow, which is in Connemara. And this is one of these ideal homes and high demand homes, because holiday homes, again, as we mentioned earlier, you can't get planning permission to build a holiday home in these areas. They're only for locals. So property throughout the pandemic seaside property with sea views throughout the pandemic in the west of Ireland rose between 30 and 40%. Because you got a lot of expats saying, we want to move home. You know, tourists moving, fell in love with the country, want to come. And with the advent of remote working, we get a lot of people from other cities in Ireland as well looking to move down. This home itself is it's perfect. This during the summer months, this is rented out at 800 per week on short-term lets. So it is an ideal home for someone that wants to a couple of weeks in the year, but also wants, you know, to finance itself. So it is a good, strong rental income as well.
This question may be out of your area of expertise, so if you can't answer it, that's fine. But do you know what how the country handles the income from an investment, you know, from a vacation rental property?
Yeah, so if you're doing it as is, you know, just we call it a PAYE worker, so you're not a limited company. You're probably getting taxed around 53% on it, which is quite high. But if you set up a limited company in Ireland, you know, our corporation rate is very low at the moment. It's 12.5%.
Wow, that's
now that is increasing. It is increasing to 15%, which is becoming the EU average. But at the moment, it's 12.5%. So there is ways around it. You know, there's ways of of getting it. So like these properties are good investments for overseas buyers, and that's where the interest is. You know, this property itself, I'm doing virtual viewings on it this weekend, where, you know, I'll be going around my phone for overseas buyers. You know, so we accommodate as many viewers as possible in any way they want to view as well.
Well, and all the more reason to be for the buyers to be matched up with someone who's really astute and can guide them into setting that up so that they can have that tax benefit. That's great.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. In a reasonable price. I mean, I love how our euro and dollar is almost the same. When
It
it's so
is,
different,
yeah,
we've got to do
it's
the calculation, but now it's pretty straightforward. Okay, what is the next property? Oh, hang
so
on.
just on that. So the euro is actually very close to the dollar at the moment. It is a brilliant time for overseas buyers, US buyers. Previously, you were talking about probably 120 US dollars to €1. So
Yeah,
there's great value out there at the moment.
yeah. Now's a good time. In the U.S., the same. You know, people think the market is shifted and that it's negative, but it's still a great time to buy. We were so low on inventory, and now we have it. Even though our interest rates have peaked up a little bit, there's still opportunity for everyone. And as that relates to you all, you know, it's a great time to buy and have the dollar work in your favor. Yeah, exactly. Okay, fixer upper.
Yes, so this property is in, yeah, half-acre site. It is most standalone property in Ireland will be on a half-acre site, and further afield. But this property is in Ballymote in County Mayo, so just a bit north of Galway. But the location for this property is amazing. Right, you're right at the foot of a mountain. And right behind you is a number of fishing lakes that you have access to. So you're right on the trail. This is the ideal home for someone that's looking for outdoors living, because you have everything right at your footstep. There's caves, there's mountains, there's lakes, and the pub is just down the road as well, which is great. But this is a fixer-upper. It is a fixer-upper property. It's a project for someone, but it's a perfect home for someone to put, their own stamp on it. So it is. We don't. The price wise on this is amazing at €90,000, which is 91. I don't think this will wait around too long, but we're a lot of interest from overseas buyers on properties like this.
And so it's fairly easy to find trades to do the work. Especially.
Yeah, especially in this area. This is a roaring enough area, so you've got a lot of local people that will be, have no problem finishing this property off. But the current owners of this property, they had a beautiful vision for this property. It was going to be a modern 4-bedroom bungalow, with open plan living, kitchen areas, and all of the windows are larger picture windows to take advantage of your absolutely amazing surroundings.
Nice. Well, somebody's going to scoop that up that has vision and turn it into a gem. Okay. And what is our last property here? Amanda will get that going here in just a second. There we go. Bed and breakfast lodge. Wow, this is a big, expansive land.
This is a great property, and this is called Farragher Fishing Lodge. So it is a 12-bedroom property sitting right on the lake, Loch Corrib. You've got direct access to the lake, which is really sought after in this area, because people come from all over the world to fish this lake, and many of them, this will be the place that they would stay. The only reason this property is for sale is the owner is retiring, and he absolutely loves it. I love going out showing this property because I just love being out there. It is beautiful location, all bedrooms en suite on it, and it's got that really homely look inside, big large open stoves. It's a beautiful place during the winter, a lovely place to be.
It looks like the kind of place that would be in a movie, like I said, like it's some setting of a movie. And what is so special about that lake there that people come from all over the world to fish?
The Loch Corrib trout and salmon are world famous. So this lake is really popular with German tourists, US tourists. So the current owner actually brings people out fishing. So he's a number of boats. You have a jetty at the end of the property there that brings you right out onto the water. And there's some world-class fishing on this lake. There's competitions where people come from all over the world just to fish this lake, and it's right on your doorstep.
Wow, that really is kind of a magical. I think I could write a book out there. It looks perfect for an author.
Yeah, and it's a big long driveway into it, so during the winter it's beautiful.
Now, would you know, I'm just curious because I'm always kind of comparing and contrasting like a lake lifestyle and a village lifestyle. Would you know, like, does Dublin have condos or, things like not a high rise, but like more of an apartment style living, like city living?
Yeah, Dublin would more so than Galway, and Dublin would, but we do have height restrictions in our cities, so we don't have, I think it's max, I think it's 10 to 15 stories, but it wouldn't really be massive. We'd have a lot of 2-bed and 1-bed apartments around the city, but most of our building is outside the city at the moment. So a lot of our condos and apartments are kind of outside the city.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, here you tend to see them kind of in the city center, and some people like that type of a lifestyle. But I don't know. I don't think you go to Ireland.
No, I see. A lot of our cities are medieval cities, so Galway here, you pass buildings built in the 1500s, and so we don't tend to build up in our cities because a lot of our structures are protected, and we like to keep kind of medieval feel of the cities as well. So it tends to be on the outskirts and the suburbs we will get more apartments and building out there.
Well, and as it should be, because I do like that charm. I think that's part of the reason why Ireland is on everyone's list to visit. Well, thank you so much for kind of expanding our minds and showing us again, like I always say, there are properties all over that are reasonably priced. It's just, get into action if that is something that is of interest to you, because I think prices generally just go up. So why not buy something now, be able to lease it out, monetize it, use it when you can, and then have it as a place to, maybe even go to retire or work half the year from there. People are doing it. And so why not that be you, the audience? So unfortunately, our time has come to a close. So I hope everyone's finished their gargle. Is that how you say it, Liam?
Yeah, you can say that, yeah.
You're still laughing at my pronunciation. That's okay. That's all right, Liam. I still like you. So gargle, that's a beer, right?
That's a beer, yeah. Pint,
okay,
pint we said, pint.
See, so the language in Ireland, in US is predominantly English, but you could say that Ireland has its own vocabulary. There's fluttered to jammy and cracks and crisps, and you're only going to find out what that means is if you actually go, because we don't know what any of that means across the Atlantic. But what I do know is that buying a property in Ireland is completely doable. And it was fun to take a little virtual vacation in the lands of the saints and scholars. So if you enjoyed this, imagine what it would be like to live it. The first step is to work with the right experts, like our presenter today, to learn in much, much more detail all of the possibilities there are to create those memories for you and your family. So let's put Liam's contact information back up like I had promised you all we would do. So take a screenshot, write this down. Just when you think, oh, I'll never buy property in Ireland, or I don't know anybody that would, somebody's going to ask you about it. It always happens that way. So take note, tuck that away safely, and have Liam Farragher. I'm going to try it again.
Yes, no, you did it well. It was good.
All right. Um, so my personal request of you, audience, is if you're enjoying this and you're learning from it, share it. Tag your friends or clients. Put their info in the comment box so that they can watch this later at their leisure. You know, we live on YouTube and throughout the internet, and you can go back and look at segments that we've done nearly almost 3 years now and learn a lot. It's fun to do it. So, I mean, if you're an agent learning from these broadcasts, share it with your office, share it with your clients. I'm always amazed to find out, and sometimes after the fact, that one of my clients has a love for a country and they've bought something there. So let's take part of that and help to guide our clients to match up with the right type of expert to help them. Realtors have always been dream weavers, and finding dream homes for our clients is what we do. So why not have that cross borders? Connect your clients to KW offices internationally. That's a gift from you to them. So thank you so much, Liam. Thank you for sharing the great information with us
Thanks for having me.
today. Well, I know your time's valuable, so we appreciate you a great deal, and I hope to come see you. I have been to 72 countries, and I haven't been to Ireland, but I did wear my green
You're
for you
more than
today.
welcome.
I'd love to come see you. So we can all agree it's time to get those passports stamped. And if your interests lie, well, really anywhere, KW likely has an office there. So until next time, take care from our beautiful city of Austin, Texas. You all come and see us. This is Jeanette Spinelli with the Spinelli Residential Group, powered by Place. Go make it a powerful day. Stay healthy and be happy. And above all else, be kind. Thank you so much. Bye.